Hi, gun people. Well, that's a pretty good little shooting. I mean, not good that they got in shooting, but it was good that I thought their tactics were not that bad. I mean, it was reactionary. They probably weren't as prepared as they should have been, but I'll crack on the things I think they could have done better, and I'll tell you a few things I think they did good, and then you can come here and cry in the comments about how I got it all wrong. Here we go.
Pasco 87. Okay, I'm going to need you to hold the channel for a second, or for a while. I'm going to need as many units as we have to head to North 12th, and we need to lock this thing down. We have confirmation that both homicide suspects are inside that residence.
Okay, so when he says I'm going to need the radio hold your traffic, where I work, we normally use code 33, which clear the traffic, or you say clear the traffic or hold traffic or give me the beeper. Things like that means give me that alert turn, so when people turn on the radio, they know to stay off the radio because we're in a high-risk situation that might turn crazy. And we don't want you freaking traffic donut-eating cops out there just writing freaking tickets, calling in a license plate on, grandma taking her grandkids to school and shit because you want to get a ticket. We don't want you tying up the radio when we might get in a shooting. So that's why he said, give me the air. Then he said, give me all the units you got. I don't know if that was a sergeant or if a sergeant was on the air, but normally when you call in to lock down an area, if you've got a good sergeant or a good dispatcher, it depends on how big the agency is. In one agency, if you got a dispatch like that, you pulled out your map, you looked at it, and you started positioning troops, and you would tell dispatch, I need a unit at the corner of West and First, I need a unit at the corner of East and Third, and I need a unit at so-and-so, so-and-so. And then the first unit on scene would get there and say, I'm on scene, I'll take up the West and East, and I'll take up the First and Third. And that's how, you would lock down an area. And basically, first you lock down the intersections. You get a car at every intersection. And then when you lock down an area, you have what's called, I guess, a box. Let me see if I can find a picture. Hang on. Good grief, I couldn't find one picture on Google on securing or setting up a perimeter for police training. So when you're setting up a house, normally the first person that gets there will set up here, and then he can see this direction and this direction. And then that way, he's got two areas. So if a guy runs from the house in either of these two directions, he can see it. The second person would set up here. Oh, shit. Wrong little one. I forgot to hit the box. Second person would set up here, and then he could see this direction and this direction. And then pretty much you have the whole house secure. If you needed a third unit, he would set up here, and that would give you double protection in case this guy had to leave. And then if you had a fourth unit, you could set up here. So that's for securing a house. Now, if this box right here happened to be connected to this, and you couldn't see it, then this guy here, you kind of lose it. You would technically want a guy here so he could prevent somebody from running from these two areas. So that's how you do it. Now, if this is an intersection, let's say this is an intersection, and here's a road, and here's a road, and here's a road, and here's a road. And we'll put a road all the way down here. So now, if I want to secure this block, I would want a unit here, 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 maybe a unit here, and a unit here. So I would call out those locations, whatever these street names were. Now, again, in some agencies, I could just say, secure this block, and dispatcher would pull up their map and start dispatching units. 1 David 4, go to this intersection. 1 David 2, take up position 2 at such and such intersection. And they would dispatch units to set up a perimeter. And that just stops people. If anybody leaves this block, you know that's, let's say there's a bunch of little houses in here, and, you just want to shut down the whole block. But then, all of a sudden, we get a dog barking, and the lady calls here and says, he's here. Well, now you would do what's called shrinking the perimeter. And this guy would move down to here, and he would secure these two sides. This guy would move to here, and he would secure this area and that area. So, and then we would lock down, and that's what you call, this is a inner perimeter, controls the suspect. an outer perimeter if we want to keep everybody out of this area, and any cars coming in any of these places, we would say, no, you can't come in here. We got a major operation, you know, we're shutting down the area. You know, we call the fire department. They ain't doing nothing, freaking making dinner for the next day and sleeping. So they'd come out and park their big rig trucks everywhere and block all the intersections. And we'd say nobody can go in there because we want to keep as many people as possible out. And then if you wanted to, you go door to door and evacuate everybody. But normally you'd only do that like if this guy had a rifle and he could actually hit. Your outer perimeter controls innocent people from getting hurt. Your inner perimeter on this little guy controls the suspect from leaving or coming in. So that's perimeter. Went on a tangent on that one, didn't I? Okay, so we're back to the video.
Boxes here, glass.
And guys, if you can't approach from the east, we're bottled up here if you come down 12.
Okay, so the reason why this officer is asking other units to come from the east and he said we're bottled up is because either somebody looked on the location or they went to dispatch and said, where's the unit that called this in at? And they all ended up on one side. So in order not to alert these guys by having a bunch of cop cars shoot by to set up a perimeter, that guy on the radio said, hey, some of you guys approach from the opposite side so we don't have to pass the house, but we need to lock it down on that side. So that's what he was trying to say when he was saying, some of you guys, can you approach from the east because we're bottled up over here. That means we've got a whole bunch of units over here, and the only way to get them on the other side of the house is if we drive by it, and then we're going to alert the freaking murder suspects that we're setting up on them. So they're trying to keep it incognito.
Yeah, we're down there on Sylvester, block off the street, so we're going to have traffic going eastbound.
I slowed down to see. I don't know what the hell happened on this. You guys can...
Yeah, we're down there on Sylvester, block
look at
off
this.
the street.
I was trying to figure out whether this gun was on safe or not. And it almost looks like he's got an odd safety. I mean, to me, it doesn't look like you push down to go on fire. Most ARs, maybe it is. I mean, most ARs, you push down right here and it goes up and down to where it's vertical and then it's on fire. And this is on safe, but this looks like an odd safety to me. It doesn't come to a point or something. Maybe some of you guys can clear that in the comments on what the hell that is. Now, me personally, if I'm getting out where there's two murder suspects in the house, first of all, you assume murder suspects, I would assume these murders were done with a gun. I'm just going to take a guess. Rick, you can't do that. You don't know. Yeah, but you know what? Even when I guess and I take a swinging wild-ass guess, I'm right a hell of a lot more than I'm wrong. And I'm going to take a swag that these guys used a gun in their murders. Okay? So when you go after murderers, you want your gun out. And if you have a long gun, you want it on semi. You don't want it on safe. Keep your damn finger off the trigger. Your finger's your safety. And don't have your damn gun on safe. I am not a big fan of safes. And I know there's going to be some safety Sally out there that freaking been training at the range his whole freaking life. And, you might accidentally, it's dangerous. You got to have your... You know what? If there's a need for me to have my long gun out with a round in the freaking chamber, then I'm having it on fire. Because the last thing I want to do when shit hits the fan is worry about taking it from fire to safe and missing, or my thumb gets shot off, or I jam it, or some shit happens. My gun needs to be hot, and it needs to be on fire. That's just me.
Hey, let's get another unit at 10th and What's that? There's a bunch of windows facing east. One more here.
Okay, so these guys are not what I would say really tactically good right here, because they're standing up. And here is the freaking house, and I know this because I watched a video. Here's where the shooting is going to take place. Either this is the house or this is the backyard of the house. And these guys are standing out in the open. When you call for officers to lock down a house, you want to take up some tactical position. You want to use, at least this guy in the tan pants is a little more tactical because he is using the engine block between him and a house. If he takes rounds right now, all he has to do is go down, and he has the engine block, which is the strongest bullet protection on a car that you can probably get. So he's got the wheels and a car. So I think in his mind, he did pretty tactical. But to stand out here and to be walking around with your guns on safe, to me, man, that's just not tactical savvy to me. That's kind of behind the power curve when shit is fanned. But here we go.
That's the window. Be careful.
Okay.
Right where that blue car's at, you can cut down into the east side.
Here at 12th and Victor. Get the vehicle.
Hey!
And like usual, and most times when you're standing around bullshitting, talking about who's got the best sprinkled donuts in the city and who's got the best glazed, shit hits the fan, and you're not ready. So then you go into panic. Now, I don't know if he clicked his shit on fire when he came up. I can't see it. He pointed his gun. Maybe he did go to fire. I don't know. I don't think he did. So I don't know if his shit's on fire or not.
Show me your hands!
So, as usual, usually show me your hands. Again, sometimes that's not a good call. I know it's instinctive, and I see it a lot on videos, and people don't like to say freeze because they think it's old school, but freeze is a better command to see if a guy's complying. When you say show me your hands, if he shows you his hand with a gun in it, by the time you figure out the gun's pointed at you and he's pulling the trigger, you're thinking he's complying because you told him to show you your hands. Where if you said freeze, don't move, get on the ground, now you can tell whether he's getting on the ground or he's going for a stance or he's starting to pull or whatever. Does it really make a difference because it happens so damn fast? Maybe it doesn't, but I would rather say I told the guy to freeze and he made a quick assertive movement, moving toward me in a tactical response, setting up in a shooting stance, and his arms were coming forward with something black object in it, and then I saw a flash. So, to me, that shows a much clearer he's not complying with instructions. This guy makes it pretty easy because he starts shooting at him.
Put your hands up!
Juan just ran out the back window on the east side.
Up!
Okay, so he didn't shoot right away. They'll show another video where they come out and they slow it down. The guy pulls a gun and shoots. So I'm thinking this is the guy right here, but I'm not sure because it's really hard to see whether he's moving or ducking or if that's a body or if it is or it isn't. So see, I can't really tell what changed and who moved here.
On the east
Hands
side.
up! Hands up!
Okay, so let's see if we can see what happened here. Wow, this guy kind of appeared out of nowhere. Like in one frame. These two guys right here. 1 and 2. How fast did they come out? It was like one freaking frame. So maybe when they said freeze earlier, they caught a view of his head or something. So he's right there by the tree line. Maybe that's when they were yelling at him.
Hands up!
Dude, you told him hands up. He put his hands up. He just happened to have a gun in it and was firing. But he complied with your instruction. Why are you shooting him? Some defense attorney is trying to hear. Man, these guys have, they're firing. And look, I get it. When shit hits fan, you're taking rounds. You just want to throw rounds. Hopefully get him to dodge. If he's got rounds coming at him, he's less likely to be able to aim. Even if he hears them whizzing by his head. This guy does a pretty good tactical retreat. Back up. Keeps his gun in the same position. Uses the car. Has cover and moves back here. And then takes up a pretty good stance. So I almost think he crossed in front of the other guy because this is the camera. So right here, it looks like this guy is shooting. He comes around and he's shooting over this guy's head right about now. And now this guy is ducking because he's probably, his ears are ringing because this guy fired a freaking AR-15 5.56 right behind him. And he got full percussion of that freaking round and probably the whizzing. So he's ducking, maybe not because he's tactically savvy and he's using, maybe he's just like, shit, I'm going to get shot in the back of the head, which is why you never want to be in front of a guy. That's why they always try to train to keep in a line. Don't pass, don't get behind. Stay even so you don't end up in this situation where you get your head blown off. So here's where this guy, I think, takes a really good response, and he starts laying down some fire.
2 suspects down, 1 still firing.
He's got a good stance right now. He's kind of crouching, giving him a good solid stance. He's got a good grip on his rifle. He's got a good sight. He's using his sights, good sight picture. This guy's stance to me tells me he trains. He's probably a meat eater. He's already taken rounds, and he's still moved out and got line of sight. He's staying in a fight, and he's doing good. He's not one of the guys that just normally want to be tactical cool with his tan boots and tan pants. He actually looks like he did some sort of weapons training, and he's doing good. Rick, you never say the cops do good because you hate cops. Well, I just said it.
Stop moving! Show me your hands!
Shoot him, shoot, he's reloading!
Okay, that was a critical phrase, and I don't know if this guy can hear because they both got their ears ringing from all the shooting with no ear protection. And obviously they're going to have auditory exclusion because they're in fight or flight and things are happening really quick. But he said, shoot him, he's reloading. Now, pop quiz. Who thinks that you can shoot a guy who's not shooting at you and he's reloading? Raise your hand. It depends. I would say yes. If you shot at me, like I said, when you shoot at me, all bets are off. It's go time. I don't care if you're reloading. I don't care if you go, hey man, I think I'm going to stop now. I don't care. You shot at me. It's go time. So if you're reloading, in my mind, that's a good shoot. You can shoot him. The problem is you, the person who is shooting, has to make that determination independently. You cannot shoot somebody because someone else tells you to. When you pull a trigger, you have to have independent information on why you are using deadly force. There was an incident one time where somebody said shoot somebody. I can't remember what call it was on. Why don't I shoot somebody because you fucking yell and shoot him? Why did you shoot him? I told you to shoot him. I don't shoot motherfuckers because people tell me to shoot them. That's why. Because I'm the one using deadly force. Because when the fucking music stops and I'm the only one standing around with no freaking chair, you're going to say, well, I didn't say shoot him. He misunderstood me. I said you can shoot him or you might want to shoot him, but he misunderstood. Because that's always what happens when the music stops and you're the last one without a chair. Suddenly everybody's memory gets foggy or they misremember. So this guy not shooting him, I think, was a tactical error. I think he should have chose to shoot him, but he didn't. And that caused him to take more rounds, and I think maybe one of the guys get away. Whereas the guy over here said, shoot him, he's reloading. I agree with him. And even though he said that, if I shot him, and they would have came back and go, you shot him just because he told you. I went, no. He was communicating. I saw the guy reloading. I thought he was still a threat. He just shot at freaking cops. He was a danger to me, other cops, and the community, and that's why I shot his ass. So that would be my statement on why I shot. This guy decided not to shoot, and he decided to talk.
Put the gun down! Drop the gun! Jesus Christ.
So I think the guy got reloaded. Rick, how do you know you can't see? Because I call it a clue when a guy goes, Jesus Christ, and jumps behind a car. That means he just got shot at. That's why I think he let the guy reload instead of laying down suppressed fire and emptying that damn gun on him and either shooting in front of him, ricocheting rounds into him, or guiding rounds into his feet or legs. He just freaking, I'm sure he was probably, he's shaking, his nerves are hitting, he's got an adrenaline pump, and he's not hitting this fairly decent long shot. I mean, I wouldn't say this is a long shot for a rifle, but it's unsupported. He got caught with his pants down and adrenaline's pumping. So, if he had been in a lot of fights or this fight would have gone on for 20 minutes, all those things would calm down and then you can shoot, at 200-300 yards and still hit your targets. But in this case, it's still kind of like the oh shit moment.
Drop the gun!
He didn't want to drop the gun. He's reloading.
Jesus Christ.
Okay, that's a clue.
Yeah. Hey, where'd one go? I think we north. Hey, we got one down here. Maybe one ran north. Miguel, I think.
Now I got 2 subjects down.
I can't see the second.
Hey guys, I'm coming at you from the west in the alley by the suspects. Coming up.
That was a good communication by that guy. The only thing I would have got is I would have wanted a positive response from the person. I would have been like, Dave, I'm coming in your line of fire and I'm approaching from the west. So you guys are pointing at me and I'm going to create a crossfire. Don't freaking shoot me. Do you hear me? You know I'm coming? And I would make him respond before I just walked out wearing black after these guys had just been in a shot. But that's okay. I mean, I don't know how it turned out. Okay, so I think this is a different angle of another guy. This is the guy's camera in the tan pants that I said took a good tactile response. I wonder if his gun's on fire right now. Nope, his gun's on safe. Mine would have been on fire. Rick, you're just a bootleg jackhammer, Rambo, whatever. I think he just clicked it on fire. See it? Right there, that click. He just went to fire. Now, I don't know if he saw the guy yet, or if he clicked it just because, you know what? I'm standing out here in the middle of a freaking turkey shoot, and I don't want these guys coming out and surprise me. I want my gun. Because he's tactically sound, he may have put it on fire for the same reasons I said mine would have been on fire.
All right.
Oh, maybe it is on fire.
And guys,
Maybe that was him putting it on safe. Huh, let's go back. Looks like it's on safe right now. Bar's back here. When it's on fire, it'll be vertical, up and down. I thought he just clicked the fire. Now, a lot of times, guys who do a lot of range training and a lot of safety Sally shit, they love to freaking fiddle with their damn safety. You know, it's just, they just do it subconsciously. It's like this nervous habit of going safe to fire, safe to fire. Oh, I see a target, fire. Oh, I don't see a target, safe. Oh, I see a target, fire. Oh, I don't see a target, safe. And it becomes a bad freaking habit in my book. Put your damn gun on fire. Keep your finger off the trigger till you want to freaking shoot somebody. Pretty damn simple. But I've seen so many videos where cops get out there and do this safe fire, safe fire, safe fire shit. So I think he put it on fire and then he put it back to safe.
All right.
And guys, if you can't approach from the east, we're bottled up here if you come down 12. Yeah, we're down there on Sylvester, block off the street, so we won't have traffic going eastbound.
All right. So
Hear that click? I think he just put it on fire again.
this house right here, there's a bunch of windows facing
Let's get
east.
another unit at 10th and Nixon.
There's a bunch of windows
He's on safe.
facing east. That's their window, so we want to be careful.
Okay.
And then right where that blue car.
So now he's got his hand off the pistol grip and the safety. So he can't even put it on safety if he takes rounds right now and fire if he wanted to. Because he took his game. To me, that's like reholstering a weapon. He ought to be using his non-trigger finger hand to do what he needs to do. In my opinion, I know you guys will come here and tell me how bad, no, I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever.
Cars at, you can cut down into the east side of that building.
At 12th and Nixon. Get the vehicle.
Hey!
So did he go to safe before he said hey? Damn, I can't see. I'm thinking he is on fire because if he wasn't on fire, I think I would still see the horizontal bar up here. So maybe he did go to fire. Good for him.
Hey! Show me your hands! Put your hands up! One.
So he gets on a radio, and he gets on a radio with his non-pistol grip hand, which is good, which he should have done earlier. Keep your damn hand where you can return fire if you have to. You can return fire holding a pistol grip, get your gun on fire and leave it on fire, and then return fire with this hand off the front. It's not going to be accurate, but you can still put some rounds down.
Well, I just ran out the back window.
Hands up! Hands up!
Okay, so first round, this dude looks like he's ready to run, which most people are when you start taking rounds. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. So they stay together here, pretty good. Guys in front of him, guys in back. This is when a guy goes behind him, I think. And this is where he squats and starts scurrying back. Because I think he's taking rounds from behind his head. And now he backs in front of this guy. So the guy got behind him and was firing over his head. Bad move on this guy's part.
Two suspects down, one still firing.
Yeah, sucks.
I think I see his knee shaking here. This is adrenaline shakes. Happen many times when you're in high shit. Watch his knee.
Two suspects down, one still firing.
Yeah, sucks.
Maybe it's just the camera.
He's reloading. Shoot him, he's reloading.
He's reloading. Shoot him, shoot him. He's reloading. Again, he said it, whether the guy heard it because of auditory exclusion. Remember, even when we would go up to it, when there was an officer involved shooting, if it was still like progressing, and you know, a lot of time the officers will just freeze and keep their gun on the person. When you walk up to him, we actually trained to make sure and block that hand when we walk up and make contact with the officer in case he spins, because it will shock and scare him. And it happens many times. You have auditory exclusion, you're so focused on a threat, and then somebody all of a sudden, because you don't hear him and you don't see him, because you lose peripheral vision when you go into fight or flight. Your eyes get ready for focus and you focus on the threat, so your peripheral vision goes away. So you won't see somebody walk from the side or behind you. When they approach the side, you'll never see them, you'll never hear them. So when you walk up to somebody in that situation, you want to have your hand up, ready to prevent that swing, that natural, automatic, non-thinking, reactive response of, holy shit, who just touched me? Who's coming up on me? I'm in the middle of, and you got to be able to grab that hand and say, hey, it's me. I'm with you. All right, we got it. You got backup. I'm here. And then talk it down and talk it through. Very critical for guys that haven't been in shootings. When you go up to an officer that's just involved or involved in a shooting, don't approach them thinking they can hear and see you, because they can't.
Put the gun down!
Watch crossfire.
Drop the gun!
Jesus Christ. That must have been when a guy got loaded.
Put the gun down!
Watch crossfire.
Drop the gun!
Jesus Christ. Did he say cheese and rice or Jesus Christ? I can't tell what Google reads. I think he said cheese and rice.
One down. Hey, where'd one go? I think he went north. Hey, we got one down here. Maybe one ran north.
I can see a little bit of shaking in a sling. I don't know if you guys can see that. Watch a sling.
I think he went north. Hey, we got one down here. Maybe one ran north. Miguel, I think.
Normal, I'm not cracking. Somebody's going to come here and be cracking about, why are you cracking on him? I want to see you. Shut up, you freaking tactical wannabe freaking internet seals. Oh, I'm a seal on the internet. Yeah, whatever, freaking idiots.
I got two down.
I can't see the second one.
Hey guys, I'm coming at you from the west in the alley by the suspect.
Now, who thinks it's a good idea that he keeps distance from this car, or who thinks he should go up to the car and use the car as cover and get a supported position because he's shaking a little bit and put the gun on top of the car so he can see both suspects and he can get a good supported position? Me personally, I think I ought to get a supported position. If I can get a supported position, I mean, look, I've done a lot of shooting competitions in the military and civilian and SWAT, and I'm telling you, if you can get a supported position, either a fence post, a fence pole, over the hood of a car, a window, any type of supported position, your hit rate goes up tremendously. Okay? Unsupported standing, when you're nervous, shaking, and just gotten a shooting, you're not getting a bunch of hits very far out. And I think right now, if he could have thought, when he said, I can't see the second suspect, I would have moved position that I could see the second suspect, get closer to my cover, get an over position, I could squat down, make myself a smaller target instead of standing out here in the open. Me personally, I think that would have been a better move. Rick, you just cracking on him because shut up, you freaking crybabies. Go watch freaking Ass tell you all his experience from watching videos.
Coming up.
Yeah, we're gonna go in through the...
Okay, now, if you want to go watch the video footage, this is on Police Activity, Bodycam. Make sure you like it. Subscribed. Putting out all these videos. Bodycam footage, there it is. There's a link. I'm not going to find the link or put it. And you can go watch the rest of this video. I just want to cover the tactical shooting, kind of explain some of the radio traffic, and we'll end that there. 30-minute video on a 4-minute video. Let's see how many sharp viewers I have with no freaking life that'll come point out in the comments. This guy, he made a 30-minute video and the video was only 4 minutes long. Man, I got some sharp viewers, man, when they come out and point that shit. I can't get nothing past you guys. All right, we'll end that there.